Mr. President, Sir, Dr. Ziauddin Shakib, and friends, I apologize for my in absentia participation in this important seminar on Ghalib rediscovered. Well, I am not very sure about this discovery or rediscovery. Ghalib has been so far searched in areas where he does not exist. In my paper, it is argued that Ghalib has to be studied through his intellectual concerns, which is his real domain. Unfortunately, the Urdu tradition of criticism of poetry has been restricted to the form, that is how the poet has expressed himself, than to the content, that is what the poet has to say. The progressive Urdu literary movement of 1930s to 1940s, ignoring these evaluation measures, introduced emphasis on social content as fundamental to literary criticism by borrowing Marxist theory of social realism and adapting it to the Asian cultural ethos. However, it also fell short of extending it to the content of non-material realm. During the post-progressive era, Urdu poetry criticism totally lost its way. The critics had no clue as to which theory they should construct, which was different from the classical and progressive options. In their inability to develop their own theories of criticism, they fell back either on the classical theories of criticism, that is, the theories of form rejected by the progressives, or they started beating each other in the race of borrowing some features from European American theories of literary criticism like existentialism, modernism, postmodernism, structuralism, etc., without realizing that these theories were the outcome of the requirements of the changing Western cultural and intellectual situation, and as such could not be applied on other cultures like South Asia. One reason for this non-appreciation of Ghalib appears to be that these formalists ignored the art and craft of Ghalib are not the Ghalib, but are instruments of accessing his thought. Besides appreciation of the art and craft, Ghalib also demands deep insights into the Asian spiritual and the Sufi cultural and literary traditions. In the Urdu literary tradition, Ghalib is perhaps the greatest thinking poet. A thinking poet does not necessarily mean one with some well-defined ideological system for his poetic personality to sustain itself. Indeed, creative impulse in a poet cannot coexist with any ideological impulse in a poet. That is, creative impulse in a poet cannot coexist with any ideological bondage. Ghalib does not have any ideological tendencies as such, but he does have certain intellectual concerns. Now, here it is not intended, I would like to clarify, to cover the whole intellectual universe of Ghalib. It would be restricted to identification of certain attitudes To start with, Ghalib is not sure about his own religiosity, and as shaped by Ghalib the poet. These attitudes refuse to be described by any value loaded terminology. He has his own view of men and the world and his own way of expression, with all the consistencies, inconsistencies, contradictions, and sometimes irritating complexities. To start with, Ghalib is not sure about his own religiosity, that is, the absolute faith of monotheism. Ghalib is suggesting that there is only one religion, monotheism, belief in one God. Differences in all faiths and religious schools are in fact differences in their respective rituals. If these rituals are removed, then all faiths will become parts of one absolute faith, that is monotheism. Tasawwuf, that is Islamic mysticism, has been the main source of the Urdu poetic sensibilities inherited from a long and rich tradition of Persian ghazal, besides its philosophic content of an unreal and sometimes mysterious phenomenon of life. For Ghalib, Tasawwuf was not a philosophy of life which he could adopt. However, there were certain questions raised by Tasawwuf which were also Ghalib's questions, like ultimate reality, essence and attributes, creation, time and space, existence and non-existence, and their mutual relationships, faith, that is deen, and the world, dunya, reality and illusion, love, physical and spiritual, reward and punishment, etc. But he has neither time nor space for traditional he has neither time nor space for traditional subjects, that is mazameen, or for the idioms and instruments of expression of images, symbols, metaphors, etc. His intellectual poetics coins its own language, idiom, and his own instruments of expression. I believe that in Ghalib's poetics, intellect is as important as the mystical intuition, and sometimes it appears that intellect dominates the spiritual and the mystic. Well, this is a very vast area. Here, a brief indication is given of the operation of intellect in two spheres: the abstract mystical and the material theological. Let us see the operation of Ghalib's intellect in the realm of the abstract mystical. In the following verses, he appears to be a staunch believer in Wahdatul Wujud. न था कुछ तो खुदा था, कुछ न होता तो खुदा होता, डुबोया मुझको होने ने, न होता मैं तो क्या होता. When there was nothing, there was God. Had there been nothing, God would have been. My being has spoiled me. Had I been non-being, what would I have been? कह सके कौन कि ये जलवागरी किसकी है? पर्दा छोड़ा है वो उसने कि उठाए न बने. Who can explain whose splendor is this? That is the material world. The curtain that he has hung over it is such that it is not possible to raise it. Whatever appears is nothing but God's presence, but What he is cannot be deciphered. दहर जुज जलवाए यकताई माशूक नहीं, दहर जुज जलवाए यकताई माशूक नहीं, हम कहाँ होते अगर हुस्न न होता खुद भी. The material world is nothing but a reflection of the uniqueness of the beloved, that is the God. We would not have been had the beauty not been desirous of self-observation. Now these couplets have both physical and the metaphysical dimensions and impact at two different levels, speculative and sensory. Sensory communication is immediate with all its magnificence, leaving no room for any mystic intervention. Ghalib in various ways makes it quite clear that his references to mystic concepts or his use of the traditional idiom, metaphors, and symbols and instruments of mystic expressions do not mean that he follows any of the schools of Tasawwuf. This compulsion is confessed by Ghalib the poet without any hesitation. हर चंद हो मशाहदे हक़ की गुफ्तगू, बनती नहीं है बादो सागर कहे बगैर. Howsoever we may try to talk about the mystic concept of the observation of God, we cannot do so without taking the help of the traditional metaphors of the wine and the cup. In his letters written during his last days, when he had almost ceased writing poetry to a colleague in mysticism, an esteemed Sufi, Ghamgeen Shah of Gwalior, Ghalib expressed his views on the issue of wujud in some more detail. Briefly, he declared that instead of the Islamic declaration, no God except Allah, he had adopted the wujudi conviction, that is, no existence wujud except that of God. Now, he draws a very interesting conclusion. He states that one who believes in this creed does not reject anything but accepts all, whether Islam or unbelief, that is kufr, in a special, but that has to be done in a special state of sensibility, kaifiyat. Again, deen, that is faith, is related to the existing world only rationally. Otherwise, deen, faith, like dunya, is also an illusion, wahm. Ghalib has been, in fact, if you go through all these different types of couplets or his attitudes, it appears that Ghalib has been an incorrigible skeptic, and he starts his search for the truth with his doubts. जबकि तुझ बिन नहीं कोई मौजूद, फिर ये हंगामा है खुदा क्या है. If there is nothing present except you, then what is this commotion in this material world, O God? हाँ खाइयो मत फरेबे हस्ती, हर चंद कहें कि है नहीं है. Do not be deceived by the fallacy of existence. How much soever we say it is not. जुज नाम नहीं सूरत आलम मुझे मंजूर, जुज नाम नहीं सूरत आलम मुझे मंजूर, जुज वहम नहीं हस्तिए अशिया मेरे आगे. I do not accept the appearance of the world except in name. existence of things is, for me, only a false idea. At the same time, Ghalib insists on one's own being. अपनी हस्ती ही से हो जो कुछ हो, अपनी हस्ती ही से हो जो कुछ हो, आगही गर नहीं गफलत ही सही. Whatever can be achieved only by one's own self. If not knowledge, let it be forgetfulness. दूध सौदाए ततक बस आसमां नामी दमश, दीद अबर ख्वाबे परीशां जद जहां नामी दमश. An imaginary smoke rose and became a tent. We called it sky. The eye saw a disturbed dream. We named it as the world. Ghalib appears to be always struggling to accommodate intellect with faith or meaning with absurdity, without surrendering his intellect to non-intellectual assumptions. He is very categorical in the superiority of intellect, khirad, andisha. सुखन गर्चे गंजीनए गौहरस्त, खिरद रावले ताबिशे दीगरस्त. Although poetry is a treasure of pearls, intellect has a different splendor. It is this intellect that has brightened existence of Ghalib. खिरद जोयम अरखुद बुवद मर्ग मन, बहस्ती खिरद बस बुवद बर्गे मन. Even if I die because of my search for intellect, I would continue to long for intellect. His total loyalty to intellect raises the question, by adopting the wujudi position, was he not, like other Urdu poets, merely following one of the traditions of Persian and Urdu of creation of poetic themes, that is mazameen? Probably not. It appears that Ghalib used Wahidatul Wujud in a meaning quite different from the way it had been understood by all great Sufis in the past. He felt that the Wujudi assertion on non-existence of any God except Allah offers no room for the existence of man, while the conviction that there is no existence except Allah does provide some space for human existence, that is, for Ghalib himself. This was the position preferred by a poet. It should be noted that this was the position preferred by a poet and not by a Sufi. Now, when Ghalib allowed his intellect to probe the problem of existence, what he experienced stunned him. He was bewildered by the complexity of the problem. This bewilderment, tahayyur, framed certain interesting questions. असले शुहूदो शाहिदो मशहूद एक है. असले शुहूदो शाहिदो मशहूद एक है. हैरान हूँ फिर मुशाहिदा है किस हिसाब में. If the essence of shuhud, that is the material forms in which God is observed, the shahid, the observer, and the mashhud, that is God, is the same. If this is so, then I am bewildered how to account for mushahada, the act of observation. Now, observation, mushahada, is a human act, and therefore the problem was how to seek space for the operation of intellect in the realm of mystic cognition. Ghalib's intellect frames some quite novel questions, and this is a very important very point. It requires serious consideration. Now he says, है कहाँ तमन्ना का दूसरा कदम यारब, है कहाँ तमन्ना का दूसरा कदम यारब, हमने दस्ते इम्का को एक नक्शे पाया. Where is the next step of desire? It is tamanna. It is very difficult to translate tamanna. Where is the next step of desire, O God? We found the desert of contingency only a footprint. Another mystic experience, another mystic wish he frames. मंजर एक बुलंदी पर और हम बना सकते, मंजर एक बुलंदी पर और हम बना सकते, का अर्श से परे होता काश के मकां अपना. विश वी कुड कंस्ट्रक्ट another spectacle on a higher plane, a home away from the throne of God. That is, a higher plane, higher than the throne of God. Now, Ghalib is looking for a place far up, away from the holy space, a wish which could be uttered only by a Sufi, and that too in a state of intoxication, sukr, jazb. Such statements in fact fall under the category of shathiyat, which are to the Muslim religious sensibility not less than unbelief. Now we will examine operation of Ghalib's intellect in the material theological. The narration given above has made it clear that Ghalib is not comfortable with any interference with his own perception of the real or the spiritual world. He quite unhesitatingly carries this trait of refusal in the sphere of certain traditional theological beliefs and concepts and offers his own definitions of the same. For instance, kufr, unbelief. He gives quite a new interpretation and very thought-provoking. Kufro di chist, kufro di chist, juz alai she pindare wujud. Kufro di chist, juz alai she pindare wujud, pak shau pak, ke hum kufre tu, deene tu bavad. What is kufr and deen except pollution of a conceit in one's existence? Purify yourself so that your kufr, unbelief, also becomes your deen, faith. Then about Iman, he reiterates the same theme in a different way through a new definition of Iman. It is wafadari, fidelity. वफादारी बशर्ते इस्तवारी असले ईमा है. वफादारी बशर्ते इस्तवारी असले ईमा है, मरे बुतखाने में तो काबे में गाड़ो ब्राह्मण को. Fidelity with steadfastness is the essence of Iman, that is faith. If a Brahman dies in a temple, bury him in Kaaba. Now, in fact, she goes even further and describes religions themselves as not more than spheres of refuge sought by the fatigue of human desire. Religions are not more than spheres of refuge sought by the fatigue of human desire. Dero haram, aine, takrare, tamanna. वाह मांदगी शौक तराशे है पनाही. The mosque and the temple are mirror images reflecting the reputation of desire. In fact, these are places of refuge constructed by the fatigue of human yearning. Now, He is also not sparing in questioning certain Islamic beliefs. For instance, paradise and hell. हमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत, लेकिन दिल के खुश रखने को गालिब ये ख्याल अच्छा है. We know the reality of paradise, but for keeping one happy, this is a good thought. He does not accept paradise as a reward for the act of obedience of God. ताअत में ता रहे न मयो अंग भी की लाग. ताअत में ता रहे न मयो अंग भी की लाग. दो जख्म डाल दो कोई लेकर बहिश्त को. In order that the obedience to God is not performed for the sake of wine and honey, throw the paradise in the hell. Now on the wine. जाहिद न तुम पियो न किसी को पिला सको, क्या बात है तुम्हारी शराब तुहूर की. Zahid is one who is very rigid in his beliefs and practices. He says, Zahid, one can only wonder about your wine of paradise, which neither you can drink yourself, nor can you offer it to others. Ghalib has unflinching faith in the highest position of man in creation even before God. बंदगी में भी वो आज़ाद और ख़ुद भी हैं कि हम उल्टे फिर आए दरे काबा अगर वह न हुआ. बाद में एडिट कर लेंगे. Even in the matter of being obedient to God, we are so independent and self-conscious that we would turn back if the door of Kaaba is not open for us. Again, the same trend continues. गिरनी थी हम पे बरक़े तजल्ली, नतूर पर देते हैं बाधा ज़र्फ़े क़दक़ार देखकर. According to the Quran, when Moses visited the mountain Tur in order to see God, God's illumination burned the mountain. Now Ghalib says the man would have been as a better target for God's illumination than the mountain, because wine is served only to those who have a capacity for consuming it. बस ख़त्म हो रहा है. Now let us see what is the idea of the world. Ghalib says, and again this is very, very thought-provoking and quite a new way of looking at the world. रहा आबाद आलम अहले हिम्मत के न होने से. रहा आबाद आलम अहले हिम्मत के न होने से. भरे हैं जिस कदर जामो सुबह मैं खाना खाली है. The world remained alive because of dearth of peoples of courage. The tavern is empty in proportion to the wine that is in the cup and the ewer. The above description offers a quite new glimpses of Ghalib's complex intellectual landscape declining to be identified by any contemporary terminology and theoretical frameworks. But in another context, it does prompt one to wonder if Ghalib was the inspiration for his distinguished contemporary Sayyid Ahmad Khan's shift from the medieval linkages to modern rationalism, and much later for Iqbal's poetic confrontation with God in his Shikwa and in Bale Jibreel. Finally, I repeat, in order to appreciate the significance of Ghalib and in fact of Urdu literature, it is necessary to develop an Urdu theory of literary criticism which is not derived totally either from non-Asian theories and Western literary traditions or from exclusively classical Urdu modes of literary appreciation. But it should grow out of Urdu creative literature and Asian cultural ethos. Till then, Ghalib will be waiting as a stranger in the city of poetry for someone who could appreciate him. Bayawared Garija Bavad Zaba Dane Gharib Shahr Sukhan Hai Guftani Darat. If there is any person well versed in language or an interpreter in this city, bring him here. A stranger in town Bayawared Garija Bavad Zaba Dane Gharib Shahr Sukhan Hai Guftani Darat. If there is any person well versed in language, that is an interpreter in this city, bring him here. A stranger in town has to say some things that have to be said. Thank you. बंद कैसे करना है? कुछ फरहान ने छोटू ने कहा था, बताया था. खैर अगर बंद नहीं करे तो चलता रहेगा.
मुंह पे जाइए.
नहीं बंद करने के लिए
स्टॉप
स्टॉप हुआ है.